How's it going, everybody?
Hey, MagFest creeping up on us, getting ready, winding down from Christmas, getting ready for New Year's, and of course playing some video games, right?
Lord, is it ever coming close?
Man, I'm getting excited.
I am. I'm getting excited. The same kind of excited that like one can get, while they also know how much they have to do to get there. So like I'm in the middle of like organizing my car trip and all the New Year's stuff and basically everything that needs to get done in between now and MagFest, where I can just relax, sit back.
Go ahead and call me the money guy, because my buddy Max is actually going to pick me up and drive me there. And then all I had to do was just pay for his tickets. And we're going to split the room.
Did you find anyone who was able to buy the badge?
I've got one guy looking at it right now. I think.
Alright, cool.
Well, I don't want to say who it is, but they're like a stream regular. So if they do buy it and they can like get their travel stuff together in time, I'm gonna give them a discount.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of the people that was coming with us can't go this year, but apparently this person wants to go see, is it Siva Gunner or Giva Sunner, or like how many times has he changed his name?
Oh, fuck me, Silva Gunners are going to be there?
Yeah, Siva Gunner's got a panel. A panner. He's got a banana panner.
A granddad panel, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow, shit.
A granddad panel.
I gotta go check that shit out.
Yeah, apparently this MagFest has some cool stuff. They've got Phil Moore, who's hosting the revival for Nick Arcade. They've got Silva Gunner. They've got like a bunch of musicians, which they spent like 2 weeks announcing them, but I don't know who they are. So yeah.
My buddy's actually gonna be doing a DJ set there.
Oh, cool. What's your guy's name?
Trevor, oh hey, it's some kid. He's been in like one or two of our things in chat. Done Overwatch a couple times. He's gonna be spending one of the nights there. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to going and catching that. The music is actually one of the nicest parts about MagFest, because much like the arcade, it's a 24/7 like jam space.
Uh-huh.
So like you can go there and just. I remember going like one night and meeting up with a couple of friends at like fucking 3 in the morning, going to the dance, and the woman who was spinning at that point was the woman who composed the soundtrack to Super Hexagon. So in the middle of like her set, she just starts playing music from it, and I love the soundtrack to that game so fucking much.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You
That
get me
kinda
excited
just, like,
now.
stopped and blew my
And
mind.
apparently, like Windjammers is a classic thing that you do.
Windjammer, like it's the con that made us realize how good Windjammers was. It's actually where like I think Giant Bomb are like the people more or less credited with reviving Windjammers. It was because everyone played it at MagFest, and like everyone fought the Neo. Like there's no lines for most arcade machines except for the rhythm games and Windjammers.
Right. Oh, I imagine the arcade, like the rhythm stuff, the DDRs and the whatever poppin' music maybe. I guess those have really long lines.
Those have sometimes long lines. I played one last year with Turbo C. That was like it was a game made by the people who did Taiko Drumming, but it's like a gun rhythm game.
Okay.
It's really interesting.
So yeah, we're here with Friends to the End, the new DLC. I believe this is the final DLC pack for Shantae Half Genie Hero.
DLC for this game.
Well, it was a Kickstarter stretch goal, along with there's a few other things that are coming out, like I think costume color swaps. There was some DLC that's like Patreon backer exclusive that they're thinking about making like available to people. Maybe in like a different form, or maybe I don't know. It's a difficult thing when you have something that's, you say this is going to be exclusive, but then maybe you think about releasing it, you know?
Mm-hmm. You don't want to leave anybody out. At the same time, you also want to give people something.
Yeah. Well, there are a few things. Like, Risky Boots has her, like, original Game Boy colors, which is, like, really, like, this yellowish dark red kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mostly palette swaps. Like, Shantae has her own special transformation that is, I think, backer exclusive.
Where she transforms into a backer.
Yeah. Yeah. She waves money everywhere and the enemies go away. Nah, that was the Tinkerbat transformation. But then she also has like these outfits for like Mighty Switch Force.
Huh. Man, I gotta play through the game again.
Yeah. Like, Way Forward, I really like them as a studio. But that being said... Oh, whoops. Yeah, that being said, I followed one of the, like, lead game developers on Twitter, and he is horny as fuck, like, all the time.
I am not surprised looking at some of the, like, monster designs and boss designs.
Well,
not
it's
surprised.
like they've got that joke image around. It's like Shantae and the artist's kinks, and I wanted to say, you know, that's not really fair, but then I followed him for a little while. I was like, no, that's totally fair. Like, the latest image is him, like, in a Chuck E. Cheese, and he's got this shirt with that's, I don't know, it's kind of covered up by a jacket, but it's like, it's some sort of, like, pervy anime shirt.
Wow.
I don't know. So, yeah. But, you know, Horny on Maid isn't really that bad, you know? Not these days.
Yeah, what was the thing I saw yesterday? Better to be horny on main than corny on corny and lame.
Well, I'm often corny and lame. So
yeah, both have their ups and their downs.
yeah. Thank you very much for the host, Vampiric Yoda.
Hey, Jesse.
Or Jesse, whichever they prefer. So yeah, you haven't seen this part, but in the main game we're picking up the pieces to get the dynamo working, which I guess this is a pre-electricity world. People don't really have it. And it makes electricity.
So, excited as shit for MagFest.
Definitely. Somebody's in my Discord. Oh, that's just VNPC. By the way, you mentioned Turbo C. I'm in Visual Novel Book Club with them.
Yeah, I hope they're going this year. I know they've gone years past.
They're gonna go to MagFest, yeah.
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah.
Excited. It'll be the first time, like, because me and you met in person before we started, like, collaborating on anything stream-wise.
Yeah, it was at a PAX, I think.
At PAX that year. But,
I forget what we even did, though.
We were talking... I remember talking to you about the, RGB.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Because that was right around the time that you started doing work on the Montiome,
yeah, like
project.
the Rooster Teeth memorial kind of thing.
Yeah, and I couldn't program, I couldn't write, but what I did know how to do was debug. So I was basically working with people saying, when you guys finish a build of your game,
that's right, I
send
do
it my
remember
way,
that.
and I'll debug, I'll do whatever I can to debug it for you. Which is basically how me and you started working on stuff, was I did a lot of debugging on RGB.
Right, you did. Gosh, that feels like forever ago.
Yep, and then I think we started with maybe one... Yeah, we worked together on one charity stream. And then just started doing it on the regular. 'Cause it just worked.
What can we do?
That was back in the days when we knew absolutely nothing about stream equipment and
Shantae's turned pure evil.
all of this stuff. Now we're doing so much better with me talking into the back of my microphone yesterday.
Yeah. Now we're just
3 hours.
consummate professionals. I feel like we've come a long way, though.
Oh, we've come miles.
We're off of Skype,
We've
for
come miles.
one
What in
thing.
the world happened?
Got off Skype, got on Discord. We've come a long way. Like we were talking about this last night. How fucking far
What do
the
we do
Star Trek
now?
change has come.
Yeah.
Really surprising turn events. We're planning a like meetup, like a community meetup, and I thought it was gonna be like, 3 people saying yes. We've got a lot of people who are expressing interest in that event on Facebook. I had to go out and print out I had to go make and print out business cards. Like,
Yeah. Well, at first I wasn't really sure why you did that because I don't know. But then you're telling me that you've got like a whole bunch of people interested, and that's like really cool.
It's primarily for, if a business opportunity comes up, if
I'll
like
go.
someone, actually one of the best things that we did for our channel was we attended a Twitch meetup in New York, and by we I mean Ray attended it, and basically just like talked up like our extra live stream to a bunch of people there, who like me and Chris couldn't make it because we actually were streaming at that time, and in the middle of the night I just kept noticing that we kept getting follows from kind of out of nowhere, and they were follows from people at this event who basically just like were like, hey, you seem like good guys, I'm gonna give you a follow. So I also had a thing where fucking lunch today of all places at like a pizzeria. I was wearing my Twitch hoodie, and I have a Game Boy wallet. So the cashier was just like talking to me about, he's like, oh man, that wallet's awesome, I want to get a Switch, I love my NES Mini. And me and him were just talking about games for a while, and then he's like, what's your channel? I'll watch you guys, because he noticed my Twitch hoodie, and I'm like, oh fuck, I need like business cards now.
It's something that I hadn't really thought about before, but if that's like your thing, and like half of this is putting yourself out there, like what I do is I just, I try to stream on a regular basis, just around the same time, around the same days, and I've got a handful of regulars that come, and that's nice. But if you can get out and put yourself out there, and even with, kind of business cards or whatever, I hadn't really considered that, but it's a thing that you could do.
It's weird,
like
'cause
any other job.
That's the thing. Like, that's the odd part about it, is that it doesn't feel like a job, because it's still something that I'm doing for fun. It's something that, like, I don't think I don't think that there's a career in this, because it's such a saturated market, and
Right.
I would know that in order to do that, I'd have to basically do like what Ty does and stream like hours a day, like an actual job.
Well, Ty went like head first trying to make that his job, and I'm glad that he was successful at it, but that was like a concerted effort to do that. Not everybody can do that, and I don't really think that I could. Like, I don't think I can make this my job.
I don't think so either. At the same time, it like the moment that it like clicked for me and was like, okay, it's time to put effort into this.
This feels
is when
good.
that looks really cool. So we got like Castlevania 4.
Yeah.
Whip controls.
See, I was doing this wrong before. Like, if you attach it and then press Y, he does like a little, it doesn't feel good. But if you jump off of it, it feels perfect.
But yeah, the moment it all started clicking to me was when people started like we got a couple of Twitch Prime subs, and that, like, I understand it's a free one, everyone uses it. It's kind of like thanks, you're giving it to us instead of a bigger name. But then when we started getting people actually paying money to sub, Like, that was a moment where I was like, okay, shit, now I have to actually, like, put in effort, and we have investors that we actually have to start appeasing.
We've got to please these shareholders.
Exactly.
So, God, I played a little bit of this, before stream to kind of make sure it worked. But the whole thing is, Shantae's been turned evil. This happens in the main game. And her three friends have entered her mind to kind of, like, see if they can help her. And it's kind of like a Lost Vikings kind of thing. Where
you can... I was about to ask, can you jump between the three people, or...
Yeah. I mean, you don't control all three at once, but you kind of switch to whoever you need for the situation.
Is it just like hitting a L or R button?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you can use them in combination.
Sweet friendship combos.
Honestly, I was looking forward to this because I really like the characters.
I like anything that lets you focus on being a side character.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's always been like a real just appealing thing to me, is how many game mechanics can you build around not just one character, not just two new characters, but three new characters.
Switch routine characters, LB, RB. And then we got a little icon down there. So this one will probably need that. And we each get a special move.
Ooh. The power of teamwork.
I don't want to waste it right now, but yeah, you I think instead of getting the permanent collectibles from like the base game, you get kind of power-up gems that make each character a little stronger.
Hey, don't you see? So this is her brain, eh? You numbskulls.
Oh yeah, they got new voice actors for this too.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they even voiced in the main game?
I do not think that they were. But they're apparently famous people.
Roddy Tops maybe.
She didn't play a big part in this game.
Was it more in one of the other ones?
Yeah, she played a bigger part in some of the other games. Okay, so we get birds. God, this just feels so good. Like it's not awkward or anything.
I would love to see a speedrun of this mode in particular.
You know what? I haven't really looked up any Shantae speedruns. I wonder if they exist.
I'm trying to remember. I remember seeing one at AGDQ one year. I don't think it was Half Genie Hero. I think it might have been Risky's Revenge.
Maybe. I'm not sure if... Well, I imagine this game would be speedrunner friendly. All the enemies are kind of in the same spot.
It was extremely speedrunner friendly, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
sorry, I misspoke. We collect dream squids.
Ah.
I don't know what they do yet. I haven't gotten enough. Damn it. Oh yeah, and when you get hit, you lose gems. So you can power down too.
Nice.
Oh man, there are so little games that use mechanics like that, and like Cave Story is one of the only ones I can really think of that did that. Or like actually,
Well,
Demon Souls actually had that.
One of the ones that I
One
liked
boss
is...
in
oh, hey Max.
Ooh.
One of the ones that I really liked that did that was Goemon on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
Like
shit.
you get the big pipe, but if you got hit, it would go back.
I actually like. Star Tropics did that
does Max
too. Where
want
if
in?
you,
Let me check. Max, are you okay? Yeah, let's
while
get you
look
in.
that up, while you look that up, while you get a minute, I'm gonna go just move the dinner to the sink.
Well, that's not where dinner goes. You in, Max? If you're talking, we can't hear you. Yeah, go ahead and restart Discord. While he's fixing that, let's go. Oh wow. Well, here's all the stages. 48 total Dream Squids.
Alright, I am back.
Yeah. So apparently this is a pretty big DLC. Like
like a sizable campaign?
yeah. There's all these stages and 48 Dream Squids total.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'd say it's just about the size of the regular game. If all the stages are here. Plus probably extra ones. Okay.
That is right. It just came out, or 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, probably close to that. Yeah, it came out actually the day I was leaving for Germany on business. And that was nice. The weather
And
was
yet-
actually better in Germany than it was here.
Less Nazis too.
Yeah, I even said that. I was like, well, it was nice to be in Germany for a while because I didn't have to worry about Nazis.
And yeah, this is pretty much Julius mode, and I love it.
What's Oh, is that like a Castlevania thing?
So, Dawn of Sorrow, the one for DS. had a mode in it called Julius mode, where you could switch between Julius, who was, a Belmont. It basically is supposed to be a throwback to Castlevania 3, where you could choose between Trevor Belmont, Grand Dynasty, Sophia Belmonde, and Alucard. So basically, you could switch between man, I forgot who the Belmont character was in Dawn of Sorrow, but you could basically switch between the three of them on the fly. And Julius had a whip, the Belmont cast spells, and Alucard had basically his Symphony of the Night gear on.
Is that a Max I heard come in? Sounds like he's trying.
He's fighting with Discord.
Yeah. Give it a restart and see if that does it.
Yeah.
He's typing something.
Headphone mic isn't registering. Try shutting Discord off and restarting it. Sometimes that'll do it.
Like, I know it sounds like a condescending thing, but so many problems can just be fixed by turning it off and then turning it back on. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's like the solution 9 times out of 10.
Yoko! Yoko was the character I was thinking of. Thank you, Timrod. You may need to do a full restart if, oh no. Even your computer isn't seeing it. That might need a full restart.
Yeah.
Christmas is canceled.
Don't worry, we'll be here, we're not going anywhere for a while. I don't have to be anywhere till about 9.
I liked that in Dawn of Sorrow they kind of implied that Hammer was supposed to be the Grand Dynasty character, but they just couldn't program in a 4th character. So Julius mode only got 3. But it was still, it was probably one of my favorite modes in any game. It was just a lot of fun. Mostly because I just love playing as a Belmont, and it's been a while since we've had a Castlevania where you just straight up played a Belmont with the whipping zombies.
Yeah, it has been a while.
I can't even remember the last time they had one that wasn't Metroidvania style or 3D nonsense.
Honestly, though, I like the Metroidvania style.
Oh, I like it too, don't get me wrong, but I really like that original Castlevania feel.
Speaking of Castlevania...
Really, the only game
that monster does the little melt away thing and the scream thing, like in Castlevania.
Oh god, really?
That's totally a Castlevania
Yeah, this is
reference.
definitely a Castlevania throwback. It's intent. It has to be intentional.
Like, just take a look.
Yep. Even the fact that you're throwing a bird with one of them, that's a Rondo of Darkness or Rondo of Blood reference. Maria's main attack was to throw a pigeon.
Oh, that's right. She had like the animal helpers, right?
Yep.
Let me see what Max is saying. Okay.
Oh man, the remake of Rondo of Blood on... I don't know. See, I actually like that. I like that remake, not for the remake, but for the fact that it had all of Rondo of Blood built into it. So you could just play Rondo of Blood in Symphony of the Night on your PSP, which was fucking great.
Yes, we do get to play as stalwart hero Bolo. Normally the butt of the joke. He finally gets to have his day in the sun. Oh shit.
She had the Zodiac animals and a dragon. which one are we coming up on anyway?
Oh, what number Castlevania?
No, hold on. Oh shit, we're coming up on the year of the dog.
Oh. What birth period is the year of the dog?
Dog is 19 well, the years are...
Wait a minute. Is it birth periods or something else?
The year of the dog is what calendar year we're coming up on.
Okay.
So the last ones were 1994, 1982.
Sorry, I was thinking about Zodiac.
Well, it's one of the it's a Zodiac calendar. So this coming year is going to be the year of the dog.
So, what happens in the year of the dog? Sorry, I don't know, like... I don't know what years of the animal really mean, I guess.
Oh, didn't they just get to... we get to celebrate dogs.
Oh, is that it? Where
Yeah,
it's
pretty
just
much.
like happy
I mean,
dog year?
I'm sure there's something behind it, but fuck me if I know.
Way to go, bird brain. But I was so sure.
Yeah, they're like regular Zodiac, but with lore behind it.
Queen of the Seven Seas.
What?
Hey.
So we're pretty much in her memories.
Right. Risky Boots Recall. Only now it's puzzly. Damn it.
Oh, we got someone who remembers the spider mod.
Yeah, that was quite some time ago, yeah. No, you are right.
Way to go, bird brain.
That was something I learned like way after we started working on stuff.
Yeah, I think by that time it had kind of fallen off.
Queen
Like,
of the
I don't know.
Seven Seas.
I've pretty much passed that on to somebody else.
Hey.
I don't know. I think modding anything is fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, I kind of really, like, I don't know anything about modding. I was really just kind of a designer. And then people who had the skill to mod could do that. Like, especially for Minecraft, because, like, I'm pretty sure we still don't have, like, a modding API to kind of make sure stuff doesn't get broken. I don't know. It'll probably just
Not
never
too
come
busy
out.
in his candy prison.
Yeah, in his candy world. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I was pretty happy with it
Aw.
myself.
I mean, I've seen a video of it. It looks awesome.
Well, I don't know. A lot of people seem to like it.
It's one of those things that makes me wish I got more into Minecraft, but
Well, I mean, you know, notch aside, it was a game that I played a lot, and I enjoyed it, and I guess it's kind of like a roguelike in that, you know, anything can happen, you know.
that's the thing. I think I played it wrong. I think I played it trying to okay, what do I? I think I approached it like hey, what do I do? When that's literally the worst question you can ever ask yourself when you're starting up a game on Minecraft.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it was a stressful
Play it.
time back then, and
Yeah.
it was just something where I could come home and just play it, and it's like, oh, I want to make like a kitchen, or I want to see if I can find this stuff underground or whatever, you know.
That was my favorite part, was just digging underground, getting torches, and trying to find stuff in the ground. I like that.
Yeah. Not so much these days, though. I haven't played it in a long time.
Oh, I can't remember the last time I played it. Probably 2-3 years ago. Because again,
Yeah,
Candy
that
Mountain.
sounds about right.
It's also one of those ones where I think if I dedicated the time into it, I would either have to play it non-stop or never play it again.
Yeah. And then there was the whole kind of like Let's Player thing that sprung up around it. That's kind of still going strong to this day, you know?
It's so fucking strong. I think the year we met at PAX was, PA was crashing with us, so,
Yeah, that's right.
We were walking to the convention center, and we just see, this, out of the halfway point between the hotel and the con center, there was just this huge line going across blocks, going up and down, and it's all, 12-year-olds, all 8, 9, 10, 11, kids in line with their folks. And, the line is so massive, I'm thinking that it's, the entrance to the con that far away. So as we're walking, I just stop one person, I'm like, hey, excuse me, what's, this line for? And the mother's like,
But you said she
oh,
was
we're gonna
just
go
a
see...
memory.
Some
Z
Minecraft
Juggy
Let's
D
Player, right?
What?
Yeah, he's like, we're going to see Z Juggy D or whatever the fuck the guy's name is, and I'm like, who?
Yeah.
And she's like, he does Minecraft, my kid loves him. I'm like, how? I'm
See,
just thinking to
there's
myself.
a couple things I have reservations about in regards to that, because I've got a coworker that has a young boy, and he loves the Minecraft Let's Plays, and probably this might have started happening around 2 years ago, maybe a little bit less, but you kind of realize that these kids are watching these Minecraft Let's Players, and a lot of them are probably not supervised or whatever. So it's you don't know what the kid's watching, you don't know what the Let's Player is saying, if they're truly a kid-friendly channel, or if it's Minecraft Let's Play with a dose of MRA shit or whatever. And then there's the whole algorithm thing, which is oh, you watch Minecraft Let's Plays, watch this other video, and then it becomes impossible to really keep tabs on what your kid's watching, you know?
That is one of the problems with kids watching YouTube too much in general, is the fact that schmucks like us can go on and start making our own channels. Getting popular is literally just a flip of a coin. How lucky are you today? A person can get a lot of popularity and just not be a good person. So, if you want to make content and you're not a good person, it shouldn't stop you. Go ahead, make your content and kind of what's the saying? Throw them all up in the air and let God shoot them down.
Let God sort him out, is what you mean? Not let God shoot him down.
Let's go.
I'm thinking I might have heard that line more from an episode of Simpsons where someone
Oh, where it's
incorrectly used
Homer
it and-
gets it wrong.
Yeah, and the wrong version just always stuck with me. But yeah, so what you have are like when there
Whoa.
are literally no means of like when you have algorithms basically monitoring your content and what you put out, like you're gonna get some shitty people who are somehow popular, and even if they're not outwardly shitty people, you don't have people vetting like that this guy isn't a fucking like child molester.
Well, and then there was that rash of
happened.
people where it was like they were like really established in like Minecraft Let's Plays to the point where like they have the Minecraft Let's Player merchandise where it's like, oh, this guy always has this skin that he uses, so now you can go get the Minecraft toy that looks like him. And then
Or just a Minecraft toy of him. I remember seeing a fucking Toby Turner action figure at fucking like Toys R Us.
yeah. And they have like a whole series of that kind of stuff. And it's like, what do you do when the person who has that toy is just like a shit? Like they just reveal themselves to be a shit.
It's almost impossible. Like that's.
Well, I don't want to say it's impossible. Like it's entirely possible to just not be a shit.
No, it's impossible to tell sometimes.
I mean, well, yeah, it is impossible to tell because these are like, I don't know. I guess to varying degrees, it's like their personalities. It's a product. It could be completely different than what they are. Sorry, just checking up on.
Yeah,
chat.
and then you win trending gamer, then you cheat on your wife, and then you lose.
Yeah,
your sponsorships like a day later.
Well, there's sometimes that, and then there's sometimes where it's just nothing happens, or like you go on a weird rant, and like you get like a 2-day suspension, and you still get to keep your partnership.
Oh, like that one fucking guy who just went off on women on Twitch and
Yeah.
somehow didn't get like immediately.
Yeah, you went trending
or
gamer in
arrested.
that situation. You know what? People like to be sour about that whole thing where it was like half coordinated, which is like, I think he's got some kind of disability and he does like work in like field of gaming and disabilities.
There were two people that I really wanted to win that, and that was the creator of Able Gamers and Half Coordinated. Half Coordinated is he's basically much to his name, he had, I want to say as like the result of a stroke, has basically only the use of half of his body. So
Right.
he can't use his left hand, and he's pretty much like trying to highlight how by simple use of like customizable buttons in your game, you can have someone
so close.
oh my god, it's touching her hair. By just having stuff like remappable controls, a guy can play Nier Automata in an hour,
Yeah.
or beat like really hard games, Momodora, just these really hard action games with one hand. So he raises a lot of money for charity. He works with game developers to make their games more handicapable, accessible.
Yeah.
Donates a lot of his own time and money to own events. Between him and the Able Gamers guy,
Yeah.
those are the two that really we should be highlighting. And also before the award even went out, he was like, I love and respect all of you, and you're all good people. And then literally underneath that was Dr. Disrespect giving an ad for Devour Foods going, I'm the greatest, and so is this mac and cheese. We crushed the competition.
I guess Max still has a problem. That's okay, Max. I mean,
That's fine.
if you do get it sorted, no, it's fine. But you can pop in whatever you want to. You're always welcome. But yeah, with all the weird things that happened this year in regards to games. I'm glad that that's kind of a discussion that we're having more often now, where it's like, what can we do for this game to make it more accessible to people that don't play games like other people?
Yeah, I think that's entirely like a valid, you know, people were talking about, an easy mode on Dark Souls, and it's like, for me, it's like, when you see people making fun of, like, a lot of the items that they sell on as seen on TV, you may make fun of it and say, like, oh, who the fuck needs to buy pre-peeled oranges? It looks so, like, oh, these lazy millennials, when you're just kind of looking at it from afar. But then it's like,
no,
hey,
that's for disabled people.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I don't have arm strength, and I would really not like to have to call in a nurse to eat a fucking orange. Like,
right. Now, I'm still going to make fun of the ones where it's like a guy with a bowl of popcorn, or he's trying to open a can, and then the world goes black and white, and I can't.
Yeah, that falls in the category of white people being stupid. That's always funny. But like people are like, oh man, no easy mode in Dark Souls. Ugh. It's not for you.
Like, who fucking cares, really?
Yeah, it's for people who want to experience Dark Souls and can't.
Yeah,
you
like
can still play it on your difficulty mode.
I'm still talking with Other Buttons, who was
right for your Able Gamers charity.
Yeah, because she's talked about this kind of stuff, where there's some things that she'd like to play, but she has chronic fatigue syndrome, which is what my mom has, and there's sometimes where, you know, she can't. I don't know. It's a condition where the nerves in your body are just in pain sometimes, and it can be aggravated by stress. It can be aggravated by, you know, sometimes what you eat. Like, your body is just in pain, even though there's not really anything. I don't want to say there's nothing physically wrong with you, but it can make you feel like you're dying when you're not really dying.
Yeah.
And people don't really understand that. It's like, it hasn't gotten a lot of attention until kind of recently. And it was, back then it was like the disease where it's like, oh, you know, you're just faking for attention, or that it's a disease that doesn't really exist. It's in your head or whatever, and it's just, you know, she went through that.
Mind over matter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, why don't you just cheer up?
Bullshit.
What if you just tried not having depression? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, fucking hell.
Like, and I understand that sometimes there's not really any ill intention behind it. It's just ignorance, you know?
Yeah, it's ignorance.
Like people, you want to help people when they're sad and make them cheer up, but sometimes that's just not really, you know, it's not how it works.
You can mean well and still get it wrong, and in that case, it's like, you know, thanks for trying.
Yeah,
but
you get
isn't that
get
cute, but it's
star.
wrong.
God damn it. Man, I still love the Mermaid Factory. I'm glad we get to come back here.
Oh, it's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Damn, I was so hyped to be sad all day long.
Okay, this is come on. Come over here.
But when the Game Awards was happening, like I said, I literally saw those two tweets next to each other, half coordinated, saying, "Oh, you know, I love and respect everyone. Thanks for even considering me."
Yeah.
And
well, that's why I
Dr.
wasn't really.
Disrespect.
That's why I wasn't really sad that he didn't win, because I'm glad that he was nominated. You know.
Yeah. But I just remember like screen capping that and saying, look at the difference between these two. and I got so many angry Dr. Disrespect fans in my mentions being like, oh, you just don't get him. He's a character. He's really a good person. I'm like, oh, wow, the guy in a really giant Gunther wig and fake mustache is playing a character? Holy shit. I never would have guessed. But it's one of those things where, like, I forget who I was having this conversation with the other day, but it's like, it's satire, or it's, might have been having it on the other channel. It's satire, or it's, parody, or it's meta,
Or,
but
you know,
if you
any
do it
other kind of
lazy-
excuse like that.
Yeah, if you do it lazy, then you stop being commentary on something, and you start being it.
Oh, damn it.
So, like,
Let's go.
No.
so
I still
like,
get to
it
keep
felt
it,
like,
though.
oh, that's good. It felt to me like Dr. Disrespect became less of a commentary on shitty gamers and more of a call to arms for shitty gamers.
I'll tell you
And I
what,
just
who
had a
did
lot of-
parody really well, and that's the third-rate gamer. And I wish he still made movies or videos. That's how you do a parody, guys.
I liked HVGN. I'm glad
Oh,
he's
the
doing his own
Happy
thing
Video
now.
Gamer or whatever.
Yeah, Happy Video Game Nerd. I love that
Yeah.
channel.
Well, there's
I'm
this
glad
one
he's
guy
doing his
called
own-
like the LJN Defender, which I'm not sure if this
I've actually
is
seen.
if this is like a bit or whatever, but he like reviews the old like really shitty LJN games, but he's like happy about it.
Is it the line popsicle? It kind of
No,
sounds like
it's-
that should be the line.
Well, yeah, and then there's people like I understand that sometimes you want to just watch a character and goof off a little bit, but like you could watch people that are just like genuine, you know? Like I understand that the first is an
imagine-
option, but you could just, you know,
The only
watch somebody
characters
that's
I love
nice.
are, like, the only characters I love are like Chris doing PewDiePie because he's just doing Swedish Jeff. That's like my idea of a character, like that I would fucking watch or pay attention to. But I think my favorite part of all this was like I had these people fucking just like all day telling me how wrong I was, how I was just and then like 2 days later I found out that he was cheating on his wife, and I think my favorite part about that, because I watched his entire apology video.
I
he
did
immediately
not.
was like, oh,
I
can't
would rather
believe
watch
it's so
anything
funny.
else. Honestly, I don't want. I don't need to watch a guy blubber on his webcam about how he cheated on his wife. And please forgive me, my sponsors and my gamer friends, please.
It's literally what he said. He's like, I'm sorry to my wife, I'm sorry to my family, I'm sorry to devour foods at my sponsors.
To devour foods. Sorry.
I just fucking lost it.
God. That reminds me of like there was the guy that he took donations in under like the pretense that he was like disabled, where he was like he would be in his wheelchair or whatever when he was streaming. And there was the one time when he forgot to shut the stream off and he just gets up out of the wheelchair and starts walking.
Zillon OP performs a miracle.
And then you've got his girlfriend, like, who was there off screen or whatever. And as soon as he gets up, she starts panicking and, like, talking really fast.
She goes, because she sees this, and she's in the room, and she's like saying something else, and she's like, oh yeah, we'll be back on. Oh my god, did I tell you about how my dog peed on another dog at the park today?
Yeah.
And they tried to save face by saying like, oh, he's been doing physical therapy, and he got up, took one step off screen, and then immediately fucking face planted off camera. Like, oh no, fuck you, give me your money back. Oh, yeah. My favorite thing about that, Fefnir, was, in addition to it, like apparently no one told Devour Foods about this entire thing, so they
were
released another
continuing
ad.
to advertise for him.
They released another ad after like the news broke, and the ad was literally him holding. It was like a picture ad of him holding up a bowl of mac and cheese, and the like text of the ad was like, "In an arena of 6,000, I only have eyes for you. You're the love of my life."
Oh, Jesus.
And so everyone hopped on it like, well, I guess we know who he cheated on his wife with. So like an hour later, they cut the ad. Like,
wow. God, these guys are tough.
Yeah, this again, the Mermaid Factory continues to be my favorite part of the entire game. But yeah, no, that was my favorite thing was how they just named that video Zillin OP Performs a Miracle when he just stood up. I do think like my favorite thing about that entire Dark Disrespect thing though was I actually did have someone who like I didn't want to retweet it because I didn't want people giving this guy crap because he was being sincere, but like the one guy who came in and was being nice about like, oh, he's a good guy, give him a chance. That guy came back in and is like, well, we found out he cheated on his wife, I guess you were right.
Well, I mean, it's hard to admit when you're wrong, you know? Well, sometimes it is.
Yeah.
And you want people that you like to be good, you know?
Yeah. My friend kind of told me a little bit about it. Like, basically people started, like, looking in and looking at, like, tweets from... Apparently this whole thing happened at TwitchCon. So, like... There are people with with too much free time on their hands. If they're able to go back a month ago in someone's tweets and, like, matlock together this entire, like, chain of events and...
Man, there better be a good secret up here. Oh, yeah. Come here.
Come to, Papa.
I like how you can spike it. Touchdown. Yeah, it's Shantae's memory, so you still see the real Bolo getting carried off. Like the start of the stage, it was like Bolo looking at the real Bolo, and he's like, "Oh, look at me! I'm probably saying something cool."
I don't know why this also reminded me of it, but every time I just get reminded of the guy getting up and walking on stream, it's like, it's not a guy deceiving anybody, but for some reason these two memories are just linked in my head. There was one guy trying to do a 24-hour Majora's Mask marathon.
Oh, is this... Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this guy, like, you know, I've done by now multiple 12 and 24-hour streams, and like rule number one is get fucking sleep the night before.
Or just don't do them. You know, just don't do 24 hours.
Or never do 24 hours straight. I learned that the hard way. Try and do it in like 12-hour shifts, and just get fucking rest in between them. Otherwise, you're going to like. Otherwise, the guy was trying to get every mask, so he got to the cafe mask where like you have to sit and wait for a real specific time to catch the kid.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to catch somebody as they leave or something.
Yeah, it's like five minutes of real life time, which is like X amount of hours in game time. So the guy's like, instead of sitting at his like desk and playing it, he's like, I'm just gonna sit back on the couch and wait these 5 minutes.
Rest my eyes.
Sets an alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, sets an alarm, sleeps right through the alarm, sleeps right through the next day, sleeps right through the next day.
Dang it, hang on. I am gonna have to go.
Oh, right, it is 9 o'clock. VNBC calls.
Yep, VNBC calls. Sorry, guys. But we reached a save point. We can pick this
Perfect
up
timing.
later. So,
Yep.
yes, sorry I have to kind of go, but I will catch you guys. Do you want to do this on Tuesday?
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
Okay, let's do this next Tuesday. More Shantae, Friends to the End. So, thanks everybody for coming. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time.
See you later.